I've spent all of, I've spent, okay, so this is me going to talk about moving house. I haven't moved house in 2 years. I last moved house in 2024. This is 2026. I completely forgot how difficult it is to move house. I spent the last month trying to, from finding the house to going to inspect a new place to dealing with landlords and agencies to the money to pay for security deposit to getting your security deposit back for the other house you had before to actually moving and dealing with movers. I didn't have the best experience with Anyvan, so I used Anyvan to move. I saw them online. I don't recall that I've used them in the past before. My friend had used them in the past, and for some reason I completely forgot about what a trashy experience we had with them when we had to use them. So I helped my friend to move at the time, and I remember that on the day of the move, Inivan sent us a driver. I won't say where he's from, but he was so rude and so arrogant. Refused to help us move any of the boxes into his own van. Almost like that's not what you paid for, or that's not my job. My job is just to drive the things from point A to point B, right? Gets to the apartment, takes only the 3 out of 4 bags, just normal luggages. Huge truck, by the way, so it's not like he ran out of space. He had a huge van with lots of space left. He took three and refused to take one, and then asked us to pay £10 for him to put it in the thing. So I said no. Instead, I just carried the last luggage myself. Got a taxi, ordered a taxi online, got into the taxi, and told him to meet me at the other side. A terrible experience. Terrible experience. He got to the other side as well, parked his van very far away, and refused to, he just literally offloaded the thing to the floor and drove off. Terrible, terrible experience. It just takes away the joy of moving. Because moving to a new place, half of you, after all the struggle of packing up your whole life, not forgetting anything, cleaning up the old house so you can hand it back to the landlord, you're going through a lot. You're digging up things that you had kept in storage that you didn't even know that you haven't used. You're trying to decide whether you need them to throw them away. Very difficult experience, to be honest. So the last thing that you really want to do is you have to deal with uncooperative drivers, right? And stuff like that. Anyway, so I called them, completely forgot about that experience. And so I went online, I saw them, and I called them. And at first, they were very nice. They were like, "Oh, what kind of things?" And they don't tell you the reason why they're asking. They're like, "Oh, so what sort of things are you going to carry?" I'm like, "No, I'm packing up my whole life, right? I'm packing up everything I have." She said, "Oh, yeah, so like what?" So I'm like, "Well, the major things are A, B, C, D: my table, my chair, my TV, right? Um, yeah, my table, my chair, my TV, and I can't remember what someone other thing. I can and obviously my bags, right? So I had four big bags. She was like, okay, so she listed them down and she said, so how many people do you need? I recommend you get only one person. I said, well, the TV is really big and the boxes are going to be kind of heavy. So even though we think one person can do it, like I'd rather take 2 people so that we're faster and you don't break someone's back. This was me being nice. She says, obviously, it's going to affect your pricing. I'm like, yes, I don't mind. Let it affect the pricing, right? So I paid a little more. I paid £123 for it instead of less if it was just one person. To cut the long story short, there I was thinking I was doing a good thing. Turns out, and I spoke to my friend who I had helped to move the year before, and I said, "Oh, this guy is no 2 years ago." And I said, but he's like, "Oh, that's the guys we use. Remember them?" And it just brought back flashbacks of PTSD. So I called them back the very next day, and I said, "Let's be clear as to why you are asking me to list." So they sent me the receipt, the booking receipt, and they literally listed the 4 things that I mentioned: the table, the chair, the TV, the table, chair, the TV, and the my lighting's fallen. Table, chair, TV, and the literal four bags. So I called them and I said, "Is there a reason why you were listing it? Because as you know, I do have a full house of things to carry." So like, "Oh, anything that's not on the list, we're not gonna carry it." I said, "No, no. You can't ask me to list every spaghetti and every pan and every pot and every monitor. This is someone's life we're putting into boxes and bags and things, right?" She's like, "Well, we expect you to put everything in boxes and then count the boxes and tell us how many so that we just come and pick them and go." Very rude. I now said, okay, well, there's some things that can't get into boxes. My laundry basket, for one thing, can't get into a box. You know how you have these clothes hangers, right? Can't get into a box. Tiny things, just two, three more things. My laundry basket, my clothes hanger, and my little bin, like the bin in my room, the dustbin in my room, the room bin. And she says, "Oh no, actually, the driver has a right not to carry those things if we do not list them on your booking receipts." What the absolute are you talking about? She's like, "But well, let me do the math." And she calculates. And she says, "Well, if I add another £15, then they can include those things. Please, if you can sort of, you can literally sort of. How much did I buy the dustbin and the clothes rack and these are tiny items, nothing major. They're not gonna carry it." I'm like, "That's fine." Anyway, so made me have to carry those things myself early on. I was already too close to the day. So I said to her, "I want to cancel the order." She's like, "Oh, unfortunately, we're already too close to the order because I had booked for Sunday, and the terms and conditions are that you can only cancel to 48 hours before." So, oh no, we can't. I'm like, "Okay, you know what? Moving on." Um. So anyway, the drivers came on the Sunday, and turns out they were very different. They were lovely, lovely, lovely people. I didn't move a finger. They carried everything very professionally, didn't break a single thing, asked me the right questions. One of them was even chit chatting, like, "Oh, nice, good for you. Are you moving to a new place? I hope you're happy there. You know what I mean? This place seems like a nice place." That it was just being a bit like adding to the excitement of my move, which is all you really want, right? On the big day. So that was really good. And then we got here and I've settled in. The only problem I have here is that I also didn't realize that as you all know, I'm diabetic. So my diet on the other side was very strict. I knew where to buy everything. I've lived there for years. I didn't figure out that my dieting here would be so disrupted. So I got here and the only thing near here is a Tesco. Tesco is the worst place for a diabetic. There's nothing there. They don't sell bulk anything. There's no butcher. You know how you can buy lots of meat. Like I need to buy lots of protein and eat less of carbs, if that makes sense. But Tesco only has Tesco Express is even worse, which is what they are. They've only got cakes and truffles and chocolate and chocolate milk and milkshakes and everything is sugar, 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 sugar. And whenever if you want to buy beef or chicken, then it's the small one in the small packaging, and it's very expensive, like £15 for like 10 drumstick. And you're like, how? If I go to the butcher for that same £15, I literally buy kilos and kilos of meat. But obviously I was also working, right? So I moved on a Sunday and I could continue working on the very next day being a Monday. I couldn't take time off for many reasons. So I've really, really been through a lot. The last week, for instance, I was just eating anything I could find. I'd wait the whole day, see if I don't have to eat something, then get very hungry and woozy because I have to go to the gym. I have to go to the gym. And I forget that if I don't eat enough at the gym, I get really, really dizzy. If I do a little exercise, right, I get dizzy. So, and then from the gym, I then enter Tesco and buy donuts and eat, blah, blah, blah. Then I enter Tesco the next day after the gym again and I bought milkshakes and croissant. And I entered the gym, again the next day and I bought another unhealthy thing. So now I'm so bloated and I feel really fat and very uncomfortable. And I have one of those. I have that thing where I don't know what they call it. That thing where no matter how you still think body dysmorphia. I do have body dysmorphia. I always think I'm still 120. You know what I mean? Like I used to be 110 kg. I still feel like I'm 110 kg even though the weight says I'm 80 something. But in my head, I'm still really really fat. I tell myself all the time that I'm really really fat. So if I miss a day at the gym, right, it feels like I packed all the weight back because I fought really hard to lose the weight, right? So missing the gym is not an option. But throughout last week, I did go to the gym for four out of the 5 days. I didn't miss it. I worked out. But even then, because I counterbalance that with all the chocolate and the things that I've been eating, now I feel bloated. I feel fat. I feel heavy. I look in the mirror. I don't see it. I'm like, I don't see it though. But I feel like I'm Anyway, so those are kind of things that have happened in the last week. I've only been able to get my stride a bit. Walked around this past weekend. So this Saturday and Sunday, which was yesterday, was my 1 week here. I could actually go out. I went to look for the nearest hospital, the nearest pharmacy, all the things that I need that I was already used to over there because I already settled in. I didn't think I would need to do them, but now I've had to do them. So I found a pharmacy, I found a hospital, I have found the market, like a proper market. So I cooked properly. I bought meats, like I cooked food. So hopefully this week I can correct everything. But for today, I really feel I feel so bad. I haven't eaten enough. I'm woozy. I have a headache. But I'm trying not to eat because I feel bloated. I feel like I'm fat. So I'm trying not to eat, but my body is saying you have to eat because I'm actually really dizzy and it's getting really late. but I am happy. It's a lovely place. I showed my friends. It's not a place that I really wanted to. I've always dreamt of living in. So it's actually a dream come true that I can actually move to an environment like this, right? I really like it. But other than the couple of things that I have, like I just discussed, it's actually a really good move, and I'm proud that I was able to pull it off. So yeah, I probably gonna post this, but I don't know if I feel like, if I don't feel like. But this was actually me trying to just test the lighting. One of the other things is I haven't been able to record videos here because my room is a mess, first of all. But second of all, I just haven't found the right ambience, right? Right lighting, right background. Like I'm struggling a bit. But it's just one weekend, so I'll be okay. And this is what's me testing, right? I sort of angled the camera and sort of figured it out. Like, let me see if I can record something and see if it turns out manageable. And if it does, then I sort of feel like, okay, I found a clean, clear background and a clear angle to use. Anyway, that's all. That's all. I'm not going about it. All right. Thank you for watching as always. Um, yeah. See ya.